Welcome to Fanfa Racing Radio. This is Friday, March the 14th, and we are here to do our preview for the NASCAR Cup Series from Las Vegas. And boy, there's a lot going on this weekend. The Truck Series review is out already. The premiere for the Xfinity Series just dropped. If you want to hear about that, we are watching the chat room over at the Xfinity Series premiere that just dropped. Jay, your overall thoughts about the upcoming race for the Cup Series?
Well, not just the Cup Series. I know you did the Xfinity and Truck Series, but this is where we really are going to get into the meat of the season. Right now, I know it seems like it's all Christopher Bell, and that could continue this weekend, no doubt. I know when we did the review show and talked about it in Hot Topics of his record as far as 3 straight wins, Vegas maybe didn't look like the track, but that was looking at career stats. If you look at next gen car, which is what he's doing this in, you may be wanting to put some money on Christopher Bell again. If not, Kyle Larson, I think, is one that's going to give him a run for his money.
Well, you know what? I've been listening to SiriusXM all morning, and it sounds to me like they're building up a rivalry, a friendly rivalry, I must say, between Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. And they have a lot of respect for each other, but they want to beat each other. And they do race pretty cleanly together. So if that's the case, I think we're in for quite a ride for this season.
And it is. It's a natural built one because, again, they do race against each other on dirt as well. I know the Chili Bowl's been one of the ones of contentious about between them, like you said, friendly by all means. But then you got to factor in this is the Cup Series, and William Byron already has the win this year, and Tyler Reddick are 2 other ones that are looking to play spoiler. It may not just be about Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell.
Exactly. William Byron could say, wait a minute, I'm here too. And we're going to see him show up this season as well, I'm sure. All right, let's go ahead and get into our Cup Series preview. They're going to be racing the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which is a 1.5-mile asphalt oval. They'll be racing Sunday, March the 16th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, there is pre-race coverage starting at 2 p.m. on FS1, as well as the radio coverage on PRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio 90. They will race a distance of 400 miles over 267 laps. Stage 1 will end on lap 80. Stage 2 on lap 165, so that's 85 laps. And the final stage will end on lap 267 for 102 laps. So that's pretty exciting for the Truck Series. Now, I just want to cover some of the activities for the weekend. I don't think there's anything for the Cup Series today, but Saturday, March the 19th, there will be a NASCAR Cup Series practice and Busch Light Pole qualifying on Amazon Prime, Jay. The Amazon Prime is going to start running some activities here. You can also listen on the radio at PRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then, of course, the race, as I just mentioned, that starts at 3:30, but you do have pre-race coverage at 2. So what do we got for some insights here for the NASCAR Cup Series, Jay?
Well, talking about exciting and thinking back, I remember when Las Vegas the track became part of the NASCAR circuit, but I didn't realize how far back that went because this weekend now marks the 35th running of a NASCAR Cup Series race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, ranging from 1998 all the way through now 2025.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, it really is amazing. Christopher Bell now is the 4th driver to win 3 of the first 4 races of the season. The only driver to win 4 of the first 5 races is none other than Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott. and he did that in 1992. I forgot to tell everybody we do have a big dog here, so you may hear a dog in the background because he likes to say hello to people who walk by.
Okay, all right. But going back, we got to keep talking about Christopher Bell. Like I said, he's the first driver to win 3 straight races in the next gen car, and the first since Kyle Larson just to do any 3 consecutive races. Larson did it back in 2021. Now, the last driver to win 4 straight races in any generation of car was Jimmy Johnson, and that was back in 2007.
So we get to see this weekend if Christopher Bell's streak continues. He's been on a real a 3-race win streak, so we'll see if that continues this weekend. Now, NASCAR's modern era is not known to be from 1972 to the current day. So only 8 drivers have won 4 straight races. And so if Christopher Bell does that this weekend, he's going to join some pretty elite company. Let's start with 1976. Cale Yarborough did that. Then Darrell Waltrip did it in 1981. Dale Earnhardt Sr. in 1987. In 1991, it was Harry Gant. 1992, we mentioned Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, Bill Elliott. Mark Martin did it in 1993, Jeff Gordon in 98, Jimmy Johnson in 2007. So will Christopher Bell add his name to that list, Jay?
Well, and you look there of it in recent years anyway, it's been 10-year gaps, 98, 2007. We're a little over that now. So it's a tough task, but Christopher Bell certainly seems up to it.
He does indeed.
Now, when we look at the native from Norman, Oklahoma, he is the Joe Gibbs racing at this point, racing driver at this point, as he's given JGR the organization's last 5 Cup wins.
That's amazing. And I wouldn't have thought that, but now that you're saying that, that does make sense. Okay, now Christopher Bell's 3 wins this year are tied for the most in a season for 22 as well as 24. He wants to break that record, let's put it that way.
And one more thing to throw in here about Bell before we even can move on to anybody else. Christopher Bell has won the pole for 3 of the last 5 1.5 mile races, and that includes the most recent Las Vegas race. So look for him to start up front as well.
Okay, are you ready to talk about some other drivers here?
I figure we ought to. We should a little bit anyway.
Well, there are some other drivers to keep your eye on this weekend, and let's start with this. The Cup Series pole winner has won only once at Las Vegas. When I read that earlier, I was really surprised. Kyle Busch in 2009, he started in the rear due to an engine problem. So it's pretty amazing that he started on the pole, but ended up having an engine change and started from the rear and still won the race.
Well, and we've said it before, you can't necessarily win the race on the first lap, but you can lose it. And ironically, the driver that led the first lap at Las Vegas is winless in all previous 34 races. So whoever gets the pole wants to check up just that little bit and let somebody else lead lap 1.
Yes, yes. I couldn't believe that, especially after the first 3 races this season and the kind of racing that we've seen. A total of 19 drivers have won the pole in the Cup Series at Las Vegas, and 7 of those 19 are active this weekend, of course, led by 2 specific drivers, Christopher Bell and Joey Logano. They both have 3 wins at that track. Now, Christopher Bell's wins came in 22, 23, and 24, so he's the most recent winner there. Joey Logano is going to match him in years here. He won in 2014, but he also won in 23 and 24 as well. Kyle Busch has 2 wins in 2008 and 9. The rest of these drivers all have 1 win. Let's start with Brad Keselowski. His win came in 2017. Ryan Blaney in 2018. But Eric Jones also won in 2018. And Tyler Reddick won at that track in 2022.
Now, 9 different organizations. We're still talking about the pole position here. 9 different organizations in the NASCAR Cup Series have won poles at Las Vegas. And they are led, though, by Joe Gibbs Racing, who has 8.
Amazing. Joey Logano's, this is an interesting stat, Jay. Joey Logano's 207 laps led in 2005 is the most ever through 4 races by a driver without a top 10 finish in those same 4 races. So he's led a lot of laps, but he's not closing the deal.
And I've said that as a whole so far this year. Ford as an organization, a manufacturer, falls well into that category. Joey Logano being the front runner. A little more on Logano, though. He is the first defending champion to fail to earn a top 10 finish in those first 4 races of the following season as well. So you see what kind of, I say struggle, but good and bad. He's there. He's just not getting the finishes.
Yeah, it's the close that is falling short. Now, there are 18 different drivers that have won in the Cup Series at Las Vegas. And this weekend, 8 of those 18 drivers are active, led by Joey Logano with his 4 wins. He won in 2019, 2020, 22, and 24. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson each had 3 wins. Brad Keselowski's wins came in 2014, 16, and 18, while Kyle Larson's wins are more recent. They came in 2021, 23, and 24. William Byron, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch all have 1 win. Busch's came in 2009, Hamlin in 2021, Alex Bowman in 2022, and William Byron in 2023. So there could be some competition there. There's some recent winners on that list.
Most certainly. And one of them we are going to focus, though, on is Kyle Larson, as he's won 2 of the last 3 Las Vegas Cup races. Like I said, he's right now, I believe, as the odds makers put it, even with Christopher Bell on this win streak he's on.
Okay, Kyle Larson's 629 laps led at Las Vegas, ranks second all time to Kevin Harvick, 679. 50 laps difference between those 2 drivers, Jay.
Yeah, and that could be surpassed this weekend. That's a lot of laps to be leading, but Kyle Larson is one that's known to do that if he's on point with his car. Now, when we look at Kyle Larson, he's part of Hendrick Motorsports, and their drivers have won 5 of the last 8 races at Las Vegas and won the spring race the last 4 seasons. So that's kind of tipping the scale away from Christopher Bell and Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, possibly, because who's at Joe Gibbs Racing?
That's right, Christopher Bell.
Okay. 2025 is the first season in Cup with 3 last lap passes for the win through 4 races. Those 3 of those races were Daytona, Atlanta, and Phoenix. So it's amazing that we've had last lap passes in every race so far this season. That's why I'm so shocked by the stats at Las Vegas, because it doesn't bode well for that at Las Vegas.
No, but again, this season it seems to be the trend. So we'll see if that trend continues.
Yes.
Now, another thing to look at through these first 4 races for the 2025 Cup season, it's produced 142 lead changes in those 4, and that is most all time through 4 races.
Wow, we have had some exciting racing this year. Now, there have been 8 different stage winners in 8 stages in the 2025 season. There's no repeats, so that's pretty incredible.
I did hear that one from Larry McReynolds this morning. I was going to share that Larry McReynolds McNugget there as I heard that one this morning.
Yeah, that's really amazing that there's been 8 different stages and 8 different winners of each stage.
Got to love that competition and a closeness of the field.
Yes.
Now, 4 of the last, talking about the pass for the lead, 4 of the last 6 Las Vegas races had a pass for the lead in the last 6 laps. It may not be a last lap pass, but it could come near the end of the race.
Okay. There were 2 last lap passes, but yeah, isn't that something? Okay, 3 of the last 4 Las Vegas race winners swept the stages, so that would break a couple of records if that happens.
Now, looking at Toyota drivers, they've won the pole for the last 5 1.5-mile races, and Joe Gibbs Racing being atop of that list with 4 of the last 5. So we've talked about that of starting up front, maybe not leading that first lap necessarily, but that's where Toyota is shining right now based on the statistics.
All right, now we do have a few 1.5-mile tracks coming up. The last 6 1.5-mile races were won by 6 different drivers in the Cup Series. So I think those 1.5-mile tracks have become very, very competitive especially with the next gen car.
Boy, that one blows me away almost as much as the 8 different stage winners. Last 6.5 miles have been by different drivers. That one caught me off guard.
Yeah, I'm excited by that stat.
Now, the Cup race winner swept stages at Las Vegas 5 times, which is the most of all tracks. So again, it seems to be if you're good at the beginning, you're good throughout the race. We'll have to see how that plays out this weekend.
Okay, now the stage 1 winner at Las Vegas won the race 6 times. That's the most of any track for that stat.
And the stage 2 winner at Las Vegas has won 10 out of the 15 races, which is the most of any track. The next most is 5. So again, right there, you want to be on your game at the end of stage 2.
Okay, we've talked about some of these drivers, but there's some more drivers we're going to talk about here to watch this weekend. Joey Logano earned the second most stage points in 25. He has 46. The main reason he's 9th in points without a top 10 finish. So he's getting the stage points, but he's not closing the deal, like we said earlier. William Byron has earned the most stage points. That's why he's sitting on top of the point standings. He has a total of 49. That's incredible already. 3 races and he's got 49 stage points.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we do a quick rundown of the points. Another one to look at, though, is Bubba Wallace. He's earned 31 more stage points through 4 races in 2025 and comparing it to last year of 2024. And that's the second biggest improvement of anyone. Logano is up 40 as he had a real tough start to the season last year. But we talk about this of how important those points are. Bubba missed the playoffs last year in 2024 by 27 points. So he's already covered what he would have needed last year.
Yes, I heard them talking about Christopher Bell today too. Christopher Bell said he's going after as many points as he can get to start off the championship because he did not make it into the final 4 by just a few points, and he's blaming it on not having enough of those points. So don't expect him to slow down anytime soon. All right. Now,
Certainly not.
yes. Kyle Larson earned 30 fewer stage points in 2025 through 4 races compared to 2024. That's interesting. The biggest decline of every driver. That's amazing.
Yeah, and when we look at that, whether you have a strong start to a season or a rough start, the rough start can be overcome, but that strong start certainly helps carry you through. And we've seen that from drivers like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott in the past.
It certainly gives you momentum, that's for sure.
Now we got to go back and look though at Joe Gibbs Racing. They've led 45% of the laps in the last 5 1.5-mile races. Even though we've had different winners, again, consistency amongst the organization right now goes to Joe Gibbs Racing.
Okay, we'll continue here with Joe Gibbs Racing. They become the first team to win 3 consecutive races in the next gen car. Again, that's all with Christopher Bell, who became the first driver to win 3 races in the next gen car.
And the average finish at Las Vegas, I don't know how many choices I'd have had to use up before I got this right answer, but Ross Chastain, the average finish at Las Vegas in this next gen car is 5.5, which is the best of all drivers. I don't know if I'd have had that as even a 10th top 10 pick there. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard an interview with Ross today, and he is just so fantastic. I'm happy for him. Okay, now Noah Gragson finished sixth in the spring race last year. He's tied for his career best at a non-drafting hack track. So, wow. Las Vegas is his hometown. So that in a way that doesn't surprise me.
That's good to see. I like that. And Kyle Busch is another one I know, looking at of maybe having a good race as well as picking up a win, a much needed win to break his winless streak.
Well, Riley Herbst is from Las Vegas too, so
Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, the deepest in the field that a NASCAR Cup Series race winner has started Las Vegas is 25th. You got to go back in history because that was Matt Kenseth in 2004. Now, the deepest in the field that an active Cup race winner has started at Las Vegas, and that's 13th, as Brad Keselowski, and that still goes back a few years of 2018, as well as Alex Bowman then in 2022, which would fall under the next-gen car era.
Oh, wow. Okay, now William Byron, he's certainly another driver to keep your eye on. He's leading the series point standings. He's the only driver to lead in every race this season. He also has the longest active streak of top tens at Las Vegas with 4. So he could be a driver to keep your eye on this weekend.
Well, he's also got a teammate, though, Kyle Larson's 11 stage wins on the 1.5-mile tracks in this next-gen car. That leads all driver. No other driver has more than 5, so he has more than doubled that.
Wow. Okay, Kyle Larson's 1,225 laps led on 1.5-mile tracks in the next-gen car, nearly double the closest driver, who is Bell at 614. That's a big gap.
That certainly is. And we know that this next-gen car has kind of fit Larson's style versus some of the older veteran drivers. So we'll see if some of these other drivers, though, have been able to close that gap and catch up to him. Now, Sharon, we kind of got ahead of ourselves here because here's our line on the drivers from Las Vegas.
Oh,
And we
you
do
got
have
me.
3 of them. Yeah, we're a little ahead of the game, but that just means that's how smart we are, right?
Yep.
We got 3 from the hometown of Vegas that'll be starting on Sunday: Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, and Riley Herbst, which is tied for the most ever, and that goes back to 2004.
Wow. Okay, here's another stat. 33 different drivers finished in the top 15 so far in 2025. That's the most through 4 races since 2001 and only the second time since 1985. That just tells you the kind of year we're having already.
And that's what excites me. It is the closeness and competitiveness of the car, and that was the goal of this next gen car. It's maybe taken a little longer than we thought it would, but I think we're really starting to see that now, with the exception of Christopher Bell. Now, when we look at organizations with this next gen car, Hendrick Motorsports with 4 and Team Penske with 2 are the only 2 teams to win at Las Vegas with this next gen car. I know Penske is one of them, especially when we talk about Phoenix having figured it out. We'll see if anybody breaks into that. And that you got to throw Joe Gibbs in there because Christopher Bell's on it right now.
All right. A total of 7 different organizations have won a Cup Series race at Las Vegas. Hendrick Motorsports is in the lead in that category. They have 10 race wins, and they also have 12 stage wins. So this is going to be a contest, I think, between Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing. Jay, if you scroll down, we've got some dignitaries that are going to be at this race this weekend. We'll start with the first one. With a voice that transcends the screens and echoes through generations and a presence that commands respect, Academy Award winner, actor, producer, and director and narrator Morgan Freeman has been named Grand Marshal of this year's Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube on Sunday at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So that's kind of a big coup, getting Morgan Freeman.
It certainly is, and that'll be exciting to see. And he'll join a list of distinguished guests who have also delivered that command at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And that includes Las Vegas Raider A.J. Cole, the Vegas Golden Knight Aiden Hill, as well as former Vegas Golden Knight William Carrier, as well as legendary car builder Carroll Shelby, actor Mark Wahlberg, comedian Tim Allen, and then you got former Raiders Marcus Allen and Derek Carr, as well as actor Cole Hauser, socialite Kim Kardashian, and country music group Rascal Flatts. I remember when they did theirs.
Yeah.
You also had noted broadcaster Brent Mushbugger, legendary musician John Fogerty, and then UFC president Dana White. So that's certainly a list of all stars when it comes to that as far as at Las Vegas.
It certainly is, but we've got another dignitary to take a look at here. Reigning WWE Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green has been named the honorary pace car driver for the Pennzoil 400. On Sunday, she's known for her show-stopping presence inside and outside the ring. Green will take on a new role in her career at LVMS, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. She will ignite the atmosphere with her energy and flair right before she hops into the Toyota Supra pace car, leading a pack of drivers and revving their engines in anticipation for 400 miles of action-packed racing.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier, and I don't know if this is the part you were listening to on SiriusXM, Sharon, but Ross Chastain took a pit stop already from the racetrack as he joined students for a special Nevada Reading Week event where he inspired young racers and readers. The NASCAR Cup Series driver visited Lucille S. Rogers Elementary School there in Las Vegas, where he engaged with students through storytelling and interactive discussions about the importance of reading and education. I always love to see those stories.
Yes, I do too. But on SiriusXM today, Ross was talking about how much work it was doing that Busch Light commercial for the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He said they were busy all day working on that commercial, but he said the good part of it was they got to have a couple of beers afterwards, and they were Busch Lights. Okay, milestone starts this weekend at Las Vegas in the Cup Series. We've got Ty Dillon. He's got his 250th career Cup start. Carson Hocevar has his 50th career Cup start, and Zane Smith also having his 50th career Cup start. And I did read earlier, Jay, it sounds like everybody's going to get in from the entry list this week.
Yeah, I believe so. I think if I remember hearing right, there aren't any open teams, so it'll be all 36 of your chartered teams. And I don't have the full entry list handy
Yeah, I read the
as
same
far as
thing.
that.
It's all 36 of the chartered teams that are going to be racing this weekend. So everybody's in. And I think they're going to give us some action-packed racing.
Well, most certainly, I look forward to it. And we went back and forth of who we think is good. We know Christopher Bell's good right now, but we talked about Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports. So, Sharon, where are you looking? Who's your pick? First one off the top of your head.
I'm going to go with Christopher Bell.
All right. I heard him talking about this.
I think he's going to go for 4 in a row, and I think he's going to do it. I think Christopher Bell is on rails right now, and it's going to be hard stopping him. He's got that mojo going.
It wasn't Brandon Gaughan, though. One of the other late shift was talking about with the odds. So you took Christopher Bell. Does that mean I get the field? I know that's normally not the fair bet, but that kind of seems to be the way it is right now.
Yes.
But I'll break it down and go specifically. I think it is going to come down to the other dirt track driver in Kyle Larson. At least storyline wise, I think that's where we're looking at. But we mentioned several drivers who certainly want to play spoiler all the way around.
Okay, race fans, when this is going to probably drop tomorrow at 10 a.m. There is a live chat that's available during the first showing that starts at 10 a.m. Tell us who you are picking to win this NASCAR Cup Series race, and do the same. We've got the previews out for the Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Truck Series. All 3 series are racing at Las Vegas, starting with the Truck Series tonight, the Xfinity Series on Saturday, and the Cup Series on Sunday. So the race weekend doesn't get any better than that.
Certainly not talking about joining the truck race tonight. I got some things to do at the church, but coming back and jumping in and watching the end of that truck race at Las Vegas, I think it's a big one for the truck series. And there, I'm thinking Chandler Smith might reestablish his dominance in the truck series.
Oh, okay. I don't know that I've thought about who I want to pick yet in the truck series. I got to think about that one a little bit more. I'll post it. But
Uh,
I'm going to my granddaughter's musical tonight. She's got a musical going on tonight, so I'll have to catch it later as well. And hopefully, I'll catch the closing laps there. I'll have my phone with me so I can keep an eye on it. But yeah, that's going to be fun.
Well, before we wrap up, I know we're hitting the 30-minute mark here, which is about our target time, but wanted to go over a quick rundown on the points because this
Okay.
got talked about as well. William Byron, Christopher Bell, we talked about winning races. William Byron is still your points leader by 13 points. We've been
There's a
talking about
reason
these
for that.
stage points exactly throughout the race, running well the entire race, and stage points. So he does have a 13-point lead over Christopher Bell, and then Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, and Alex Bowman, your top six. Then you got Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Chris Buescher, Kyle Larson, and Bubba Wallace as the top 12. I want to throw four more out there because 16 is where we look at for the playoffs in the Cup Series. You got John Hunter Nemechek, had a good, strong start, kind of faded a little bit, but still in that top 16 at this point. Um, then Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Michael McDowell, and Ross Chastain. Chastain right on the line with 88 points. Todd Gillen back five at 83. Carson Hocevar 77, and Eric Jones minus two more. Sorry, at 75. The last one I'll hit top 20. Chase Briscoe with getting his points back though. He's still in 20th, but
Oh,
yeah, I know. I thought he would have been further up. Um, some people are already starting to kind of question the point system, the fact that Bell's won three races and is second in points. Keep in
well,
mind, he's built up the playoff points. If we
yes,
were to start the playoffs and
he would be up
reseed
at
based
the
on
top.
points, exactly. Bell's got 16 playoff points in his bucket already. Byron only six, and then only a couple other drivers with one. I think Blaney, Joey Logano, and Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson one each. So that'll pay off in the end. Don't worry about where the points are right
Yes.
now,
Don't worry
because once
about
the
Christopher
playoffs
Bell.
start, there you go. Yeah, he's gonna. And like you said, I heard him in it with that same interview where it said for the rest of the season they got the wins. They're locked in 100%. He is the only driver guaranteed in the playoffs, truly, with
Yes.
multiple victories. All the playoff points they can gather up at any way, shape, or form just adds to that bucket.
Yeah, somebody asked him if he would be testing or experimenting since he had all these wins, and he said, "No, I need those playoff points." He's going after playoff points, so don't expect Christopher Bell to be slowing down anytime soon. Okay. Anything else you think we should talk about before we say goodbye?
No, I will tell you this. I know Monday we'll do the reviews and then have hot topics as well. I listened to some info, different interviews to include Chocolate Myers with Dave Moody. My opinion on the tire, the one or two tires, the
Yeah.
option tire versus that's been swayed a little bit. So I'll share some of that on Monday.
Ooh, all
Yeah, yeah.
right.
There were
That's a
some
good
good points
teaser.
made. There were
That's
some
a
good
good
points made.
teaser. Okay, we'll definitely put that on our list. But we do have, we finished up now. This is our last preview for the weekend. On Monday, we'll start doing all the reviews, and those will post on Monday night and Tuesday morning. And our Hot Topic Sound Off starts at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, and I believe that's 7 p.m. Pacific time. So it is a live stream. We're trying to build a community and get people to interact with us during the live stream about these hot topics. So we're really trying to encourage people to show up for the live stream that starts again at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and join us in our conversation. Also, next week, Jay, I'm hoping that we get to interview Patrick Staropoli next week. And if you're not able to do that, I'll see if I can't get Sal or I'll do it myself. But definitely looking forward to catching up with Patrick Staropoli on
Yeah,
Thursday.
again, I don't have the confirmation on that. I know I told you I'd have that. I don't have that yet, but I think it's going to have to be you and Sal there with that. If Sal's available, hopefully. I hate that I'm going to miss that. I love talking to Dr. Sterpoli.
Yes, Dr. Staropoli is a retinal specialist. He does surgeries for people who need that. And I'm real proud of him. He's a Harvard graduate. How many Harvard graduates do you know that are out there racing on the track, Jay?
Not many, and I think my biggest thing, and that's why I said I was really hoping to get to be able to talk to him as well, but I think it's been about a 10-year break, and he's got the 5-race deal now and hinted at more. I don't know if he'll be able to share that yet. You know, we know how those things work. You got to wait for the right time, but
Well,
we'll
it
see
came
what
out
we can
in a
get out
press
of him.
release. It came out in a press release. He's confirmed for 5 races with Venturini Motorsports, but he did kind of hint that he might have more announcements coming. So
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to maybe he'll be able to tell us what some of those announcements are when we talk to him on Thursday. Okay, so there's a lot in the pipeline here for Fan for Racing Radio. Of course, we'll be busy with previews at the end of next week as well. So stay tuned for more coming this way. I think it's Homestead, Miami, right, Jay?
They say you're not supposed to look past the weekend in front of you, so I don't
Oh,
have
okay.
that.
Well, let me get the schedule here. It does say that the next race up is going to be the Straight Talk Wireless 400 at Homestead Miami
All
Speedway.
right.
That'll be on March 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be previewing the races for that weekend as well. And I believe we'll have the ARCA East will be racing that weekend. So we'll have an ARCA East preview to do next week too.
Good deal. Good deal.
All right. So, with that, I think we've said all we need to say about the weekend of racing at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Okay. So, if you want to see that, we have both the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series reviews. They're already up at our YouTube channel as well as fanforracing.com. So you can check out all the action there. We put up the recaps of all the races from this weekend. And I'm going to try to do that as we go. I don't know how successful I'm going to be this weekend because I am traveling. But we've got a lot to look forward to with the racing. So we'll be back on Monday. And Jay, any parting words?
Enjoy the race weekend, and if you are a gambling man, tune in there, type in there who you're putting your money on, because like I said, I'm a little unsure. There's a lot of good options, I think, and I think you're gonna have a tough time finding the actual winner because it's so competitive, and I love that.
I love that too. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you on the other side. Everybody enjoy your race weekend. Take care now.
See ya.